Hey guys, so I just finished watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake directed by Marcus Nispel back in 2003. Can't believe this movie is now 15 years old. What Marcus Nispel has done with this one is taken what Toby Hooper did with that original 1974 classic, which was grimy, gritty, almost like a grindhouse kind of film, and has made this a gorgeous, polished piece of cinema. It's the complete opposite of that original film. And it looks gorgeous, starring Jessica Biel as Erin, Jonathan Tucker as Morgan, Andrew Bianarski as Thomas Hewitt, formerly Tom Sawyer, Leatherface, Erica Leeson as Pepper, Mike Vogel as Andy, Eric Balfour as Kemper, and the late great R. Lee Ermey as Sheriff Hewitt. Cinematography by Daniel Pearl. Cheers. Marcus Nispel would also go on to do the Friday the 13th remake, also one of the best looking films in the franchise. So he definitely has got an eye for cinema, and this movie just looks absolutely stunning. And if any movie is crying out for 4K HDR release, this one is definitely it. It is stunning to look at. I just watched it on Blu-ray. My 4K player does upscale, but still the scope of what this cinematographer has done in this film would just look absolutely outstanding in our true super high resolution, high dynamic range color fest. It really, really would. So the story kind of borrows from that original film. We have got Erin and her boyfriend Kemper with two friends, Morgan and Andy, who have just been down to Mexico for a quick getaway. Unbeknownst to her, the boys have secretly gone down there to pick up some pot. And on the way back, they picked up a hitchhiker called Pepper. And Andy and Pepper have just hit it off right away. So we kind of pick up with the guys in their Scooby van driving through Texas on the way back home when they come across a young lady stumbling down the street, played by Lauren German. Did not know that. They pick her up. She is incredibly distressed. And when she realizes that the van is heading back to the place that she just came from, she starts freaking out, pulls out a gun. Don't ask me where that gun come from. She was just in a really light summer dress. Yet she's pulling the gun out from somewhere. And then she is shooting herself in the head and chaos ensues. The special effects in this movie, a lot of practical work, and they really do not hold back on the blood work in this one. It's very violent and there's a lot of blood. So this poor girl shot herself back in the van. They've all lost their minds. Pardon the pun. And they're desperate to try and contact the sheriff so that they can report the suicide. And that's when R. Lee Ermey arrives on scene playing the wickedly sadistic Sheriff Hewitt. He's under the pretense that he's there to help them, but really he's part of the Hewitt clan, kind of terrorizes them somewhat. Meanwhile, Erin and Kemper are off trying to find the phone so they can call for assistance, and they come across the Hewitt house, which is this big monolithic palace-looking thing in the middle of nowhere. It's an amazing set. They come across old Monty, who's in a wheelchair. Come on in, use my phone. Kind of distracts Erin while Kemper is getting brutally murdered by the sudden appearance of Leatherface. And that's where this movie kind of takes off. I don't want to go into spoiler territory too much, but it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so you can pretty much figure out what's going to happen next. All the cast in this are pretty much cannon fodder for Leatherface. And like I said, it's brutal, it's violent, and it's relentless. They really don't let up the pace with this one at all. And it's visceral and non-stop, and I loved every second of it. This is an amazing remake. I've had so much fun with this movie. I've seen it a number of times now, and even just watching this for the first time in a long time, I was totally engaged with it. It just kind of sucks you in right away. And Andrew Bianarski as Leatherface, this guy is massive. He's a really, really big unit, and he's very imposing and fast. So when he's coming at you with that Leatherface mask on, man, it's truly a terrifying sight. I love what he did with the role. Once again, not a lot of dialogue, but he's just such an imposing presence on screen that he would be nothing but terrified if he was coming at you with that freaking big chainsaw. It was incredible. And Jessica Biel in this movie. Let's just say this is where I kind of got a bit of a crush on Jessica Biel. She's stunning in this film. She's got the little singlet top on and the jeans, and she's wet a lot of the time in this film, so a lot of let's just say the camera just really appreciated her in this film. So poor old Mike Vogel, Andy, who I recognise from other TV shows like Under the Dome, which was fairly mediocre TV series. Also appearing in Base Motel, the prequel series to Psycho, and Cloverfield. So he is one of those actors that kind of appears a lot in the stuff that I like to watch. So it was really cool seeing him in this one. I think this was the first movie I saw him in. He kind of meets a nasty death in this one. It's involving losing limbs and meat hooks. But like I said, not too many spoilers. Maybe a couple of spoilers. But yeah, nasty. Oh, and Morgan. Yeah, it's horrible. Just the idea of being killed by a chainsaw, to me, is just absolutely horrendous and horrible, and be just hurt. Ugh. So if you look at the series as a whole, the timeline, this would actually be the last one in the series, I think. Because the one after this, because everything else was coming before it, this is a remake. And the next one is the beginning, which is a prequel to this one. And then there's Leatherface, which is also a prequel to this one. And then there was Leatherface 3D, Texas Chainsaw 3D, whatever they want to call it. I will watch that because I want to get this whole retrospective up and running. That includes all of them except for Part 4. Part 4, The Next Generation. I can't really find that one anywhere to purchase. Honestly, I'm not looking too hard. I've seen it one time. The only thing I remember about it is it had Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey in it. So I just remember it being dreadful. There's a lot of Leatherface cross-dressing in that one, and it was just all really bad. So I've got no intention of revisiting it. If you want me to give it a score out of 10, okay, 1 for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, avoid. But yeah, what I do appreciate about this franchise is that most of the installments have had a big name star in it at some point. The second one with, why do I go blank? Dennis Hopper, Viggo Mortensen in Part 3, the aforementioned Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey in Part 4, and now we have got the remake with Jessica Biel. Who's in the next one? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning has got Jordana Brewster in it from the Fast and the Furious franchise, and then Texas Chainsaw 3D has got Alexandra Daddario and Scott Eastwood. Scott Eastwood? Holy shit, Scott Eastwood's in that. Weird. So yeah, so they do have some draw, these films. I don't know why, they just do. Okay, so giving the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2003 remake, a score, 9 out of 10. I had a lot of fun with this film. It was non-stop action from beginning to end. It was scary. Leatherface was menacing. The cinematography was beautiful. The characters all performed well. Everyone did a good job. It was directed really well, and it was true to the original while doing something new. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one. It was a thrill ride. I absolutely loved it. Top mark. So anyway, guys, nearly at the end of my retrospective. I've got 2 to go. Texas Chainsaw the beginning and then Chainsaw 3D, and then I'll be done. It's been fun revisiting all these old movies. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying the ride. So once again, thanks for checking into my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.